I hear this confession is about a woman whose past is catching up with her, and so rapidly she has to come out with her confession, with her story. And we're here to listen without judgment. My dear, you're welcome to Confessions.
Thank you, Miss Nancy. I'm glad to be here. So I'm the kind of woman who has a lot of boundaries. I understand the principle of boundaries. And one boundary I had was to never date a married man. Unfortunately, it's in the past tense. That's why I used was. So I was living by this boundary, made sure I didn't cross the line until I met a man, obviously. That man showed me everything. He was everything I wanted in a man. He was caring, he understood me, he listened, unlike most men these days. And I tried very much to keep the boundary in place, but unfortunately, I'm human.
You are.
Yes.
And we all,
We are.
we are only human, just women.
Yeah. So I broke that boundary, and he had me. So we dated for a while. It went well. I mean, everything was going on fine, but a little part of me kept believing that this was wrong.
Yeah.
Yet I still went on doing it. Until one day, I got a text from his wife.
Oh,
Yeah. I think that was my wake-up call.
okay,
She knew. And she told me to leave her husband alone.
okay.
So,
Did you leave him alone?
I did,
Wonderful.
eventually.
Wonderful.
Like I said, it was like a wake-up call. So I blocked him, I deleted his number, did everything in my power to stay away from him.
Yes.
And for some reason, I don't know if he was tired of me or he had also gotten the memo or something, but he also stayed away.
Okay.
So I was fine, back to myself.
Yes.
2 years later, I met a guy, a good one. I liked him, he liked me. We got together. He proposed, I responded, I accepted. And then he decided to take me to see his family members. When we got there, I was nervous, but I was excited.
Of course.
Yes. And in the meeting, I chanced upon the man. Yes, that same man. The man from my past.
Wow.
The married man I had dated.
Wow.
And I was just hoping maybe he's a friend or something.
Of the family.
But after the meeting, my fiancé introduced us. And he said he was his cousin.
Hey.
Yeah. And it wasn't just any distant relation that I could brush off.
Yeah.
But apparently he was as close to him as a brother was. They lived in the same house. It was my fiance's mother's twin sister. That was his mother. So they were practically brothers. Yeah. And now we are supposed to be getting married. And I'm faced with this person from my past. I'm scared. I'm confused. I honestly don't know what to do. I mean, I don't want to build this marriage on a secret.
Yeah.
And I also don't want to end this before we get a chance to let it start even. So I don't know. I know I have to tell him. But what I'm confused with is how to tell him.
Hi. When yesterday turns up today and in big volumes, quite an unfortunate incident. Decent girl, principled. Now she's faced with this. Are we going on with the marriage, or we are letting go of the marriage because of yesterday? Let's get into the studio and have this convo. And that was her confession, her story. Dearies. Before, you know how the things you do before, long time ago, Bino. Should we still consider this, or we should let sleeping dogs lie?
All right, so two people are in the known. They know their secrets.
Yeah.
And the lady wants to come into the family proper. So it's going to be difficult for her. So she has to immediately open up and let the guy know what the thing has been. Either than that, the one she used to be in a relationship with might use it as a blackmail against her.
No, I mean, he is a married man, and it doesn't serve him in any way to let others know that he was with her. So left to that alone, I think she is very, very safe under the circumstances.
You may never know.
He may get jealous.
Yes, yes, because he can't imagine. Because now they'll be seeing more often.
Do married men get jealous over their side chicks and their side issues and girlfriends?
Yes, because I think emotions are involved. So anything that emotions are involved, I mean, it's either lose or win. So you definitely get hurt, or you definitely you enjoy.
But this is the past. From what the woman says, over 10 years ago, I knew this man. I never knew his little brother or cousin. We never met. I never thought that in this life I was going to meet this guy. And he's the love of my life, and I want to spend the rest of my life with him. And he says he wants to do same. Why can't we just be together?
In this situation, I think the woman is on a safer side because she made a mistake, yes, but she grew and she walked away. So she's on a safer side. This time around, I think she's rather at a point where she understands a relationship built on lies and a relationship rooted in truth. So she has to find a way to communicate it to the one she's about to get married to, because it's in the past, and then it's a mistake. And if you look at the situation, she walked away.
She did.
Yes, she walked away, which means she made a decision even before the relationship ended.
Dearly beloved, to help us have this conversation is a woman of wisdom and utterance, Reverend Mrs. Catherine. We all love to call her Mama Cathy. She is a marriage education counselor. Ladies, let's make her feel wonderful and welcome. Mama Cathy. Hello, lady. You look lovely. CEO levels today with some touch of color.
Thank you.
A very sophisticated woman indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
It's a pleasure.
And, of course, you cannot have this conversation alone. A man with vitality and vigor, Pastor George. Let us welcome Pastor George. It has been a while. He was missed, but he is back in the house. Wonderful. Mwah. Good to have you.
Thank you.
The confession is old, over 10 years. She was young, she was excited, she met this man. They had a thing or two. It was a relationship. The man would recognize her when he sees her, and she knows that I know this man. Many years down the line, she's met his cousin, and they want to get married. And she's afraid. Is she committing incest? What does the Bible say about these things? What does morality has to do with it? Because the guy and his cousin live together. They are close brothers. You know, there are cousins that are distant. But this is this young man who reveres the bigger cousin and keeps mentioning how my big brother is this, how my big brother is that. And I knew the big brother, says the woman. Mama Cathy, are we getting married or we are not?
It's a yes and no answer.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Miss Nancy, and every other person that is watching. Good to be here anyway. Is she getting married or not? When I listened to the story, I felt sorry for her.
Very.
You know, life has consequences. I wish she had kept to her values. But now reality is done. That she's in a situation where she could lose something very important to her, the relationship. But you see, there are two ways. That's why I said yes and no. Number one, she can take the fiancé out and start a conversation.
Okay.
Paint the story as though she's relating to another person, referring to another person. I have this friend who is in this situation. If it were you, what would you do? Hear his response.
Yeah.
And then look at the man very warmly. What if it were me? What if it were
me?
Myself who was in this situation? What would you do? You see, when it has to do with a third party, judgment may be different. When it comes closer home.
The story of Job that lost his wife.
Oh, my goodness.
And then pastor went to preach. And when pastor's wife died and the members were trying to console him, pastor looked back at the story of Job. He says, Job's own happened in the Bible. This is my real wife that has died.
This is reality. So reality hits because the other time she painted the story, it was for a third party that didn't have to do. So the man could say, oh, it's not a problem. But now you bring him in again and say, what if it were this your woman sitting here? That's when you know whether he's into it or not into it. But the truth is, by the time you drag him in, you should be bold enough. The third question should be, I am the person. What will you do about it? Because if she doesn't open up now, the reason for me worrying over her is that the wife of the older cousin, probably who sent a message to her, would have had her picture. And so things are not covered up for forever. She may decide to be vindictive.
But she has her husband now. I left your husband for you. I'm no longer with him. I'm getting my own.
All coals kindle faster than what you will ever think. Don't ever think that, because they can reconnect. It's close proximity now.
She never said she was still in love with the older brother.
You see, life is pressure cooker. Marriage is pressure cooker. You may want to confide or seek solace in the arm that you had been comfortable with, even though you had broken up, with no intentions of...
they say, gentia, ne sonya sona.
So at the end of the day, she has to open up, but she should do it intuitively and at the right time. But then be ready for the consequences. Because the man may say, I'm not interested again. And truth be told, the man may become very suspicious. Every move now, he'll become a detector. And that relationship may have take a toll on her. So she should be ready for the consequences that will come as a result of her owning up. But ultimately, because the wife of the other man, the older cousin, was aware, there is a high tendency that she could be vindictive.
Pastor George.
Miss Nancy.
You are welcome to Confessions.
Thank you.
It's been a minute.
Yes.
Now, you are the man. This woman you met, decent, adorable. You love her skin. You love the way she talks. She treats you like a king. You are absolutely in love. And she says, many, 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 many years ago, I knew your cousin. Would you let it remain in there many, 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 many years ago, or you would bring it for us today?
Good evening, Ghanaians. Thank you, Miss Nancy, for the question. As a matter of fact, the lady made a mistake. From the story, she said she has vowed never to date a married man.
Again.
Now, because of material things, love for money, which is the problem of today everywhere, you accepted this caring, charming, according to your story. Man was charming, handsome, and sweet, everything to you. Now, the wife also tested you, warning you. And you said that you felt ashamed. That one is enough for you to cut off. Say no to that proposal. My sister out there listened to me.
The relationship had happened. That is why the wife reached out.
Yeah. That's it.
It was in progress.
That person, that is family member that is proposing to you, cut off. You have messed up.
You say that we should leave the single guy and the single woman alone because his married cousin pursued me?
You dated him. You had an affair. Not once, not two, not three. For months.
Oga, were you there?
For months. So now, there's this kind of covenant you have had with him it must surely speak tomorrow. Tomorrow it must speak. So cut off now. A broken relationship is better than a broken marriage. Say no to it now.
They are in love.
Love
They
is a
adore each
scam.
other.
If you don't understand the meaning of love.
Love is a scam.
It's a scam. This is not love. This is love for material things. The love of what you can gain.
Mama Kathy,
Yes.
from what Pastor George is saying, does it seem like genuinely single girls cannot fall in love with married men who are probably not rich, who are probably broke, who not because of money? You think that the only reason younger women or single women go into relationship with the married is because of money?
Not at all. Not at all. I don't encourage dating married men, but truth is, not every woman is materialistic.
Yes.
There are some women that go into relationship just for emotional support. There are some that go in just because they want a listening ear. There are some that go in because they come from toxic homes. There are situation varies, circumstances vary. Right. What pushes us into what we do is circumstantial, based on where we are coming from. And that is why it's very, very dangerous to judge a person whose story you haven't heard or you don't know. And that's why for me as a minister of the gospel, empathy, compassion, understanding is key.
Very.
Get to find out why somebody is doing what they are doing. Unfortunately, like this lady, she started off wonderfully well. She had set up rules, values, and she got swayed, unfortunately. But truth is, she can find her way home. And I think she did. Not many single girls would have felt ashamed when a wife, they don't even care. They'll fight you in the market. So ultimately, what I'm saying is not every single lady dates a married man because of the benefit, but majority is also because of the benefit, and it's dangerous.
True. Can we just hope against hope and allow this marriage, this relationship to happen and ignore the past? Maybe Madame may decide never to come out with it.
That's a probability. Miss Nancy, that's a probability. To ignore, you see, I started off with an analogy. Don't ask a direct question. Let me bring in something in my counseling room. Something happened like this. A man came to me and said he wants to open up to the wife because he's cheated on the wife. They are believers. They are both believers. And I said, not every person can stand the truth.
Yes.
You walk gradually, tread softly. Okay, so it's good that you open up. He was in tears. I'm not exaggerating. He was bleeding tears and had to pull a napkin to dab the tears.
Oh.
And I said, it's important that you open up, but let's test the waters. Because there are some women that if they hear this about you, the moment they hear it, the marriage is over. And there are children inside. So let's tread softly. And I told her, okay, I told him, I will ask because I knew the wife, let me meet her up and let me start a conversation with her. And when I mentioned it as though I was talking about somebody else, she said, if her husband ever does it, the moment she hears, that will be the last day of the marriage. So I went back to the man and said, tread softly, build momentum. Ultimately, you will open up. But make sure that you
But in this case, if there is no issue out of the relationship, why would you go telling in the first place?
There's no issue, Miss Nancy, there's no issue, but there is a third party that you can't judge people's spirit.
Yeah.
I would, if the wife didn't know about this relationship, I wouldn't have a problem. But because the wife knew and even sent her a message, seeing her, maybe the husband also had a picture of her, so she can link the face to the person. If she does that, she may want to decide to say, what you sow, I'm going to give the harvest very soon.
Good measure,
press down, shaken together, running over.
Hey!
But it is best, before I conclude, because it's not one-sided. Truth is, she needs to open up. She needs to open up ultimately. Because I believe that no spouse is a Messiah.
Yes.
No spouse is a Messiah. So don't hold on to a relationship so tightly that if you lose it, it's like the end of the world. I thank God you've come into my life. I love you. I appreciate you. A few things happened in the past. But you see what? The person I painted a scenario to you is me. I won't force you to marry me. I am a different person. This. Open, transparent, and honest conversation and backed up with prayers can deliver what you never thought you would have had.
This is Confessions on TV3. I am Miss Nancy, and the conversation just began. Don't go away. I'll be right back. This is Confessions on TV3, brought to you by MTN. Everywhere you go. Pastor George.
Yes.
You're the man.
Please, my sister, men, we have a way we talk.
Yes.
That your ex will still relay the information to the man that is about to marry you. I've dated this one. I've chopped this one. I've chopped and cleaned my mouth.
Why would he do that?
That's how we are. This
Why
place,
would he do that? Is it because he's jealous that his cousin now has something he has stated before, or he just wants to mess it up out of jealousy?
Not that you want to mess up or he's jealous. That the same girl will also do it, cheat on you when you marry her. See, if a woman can cheat with a married man, she can continue cheating. Cheating is in the DNA. It's in the bloodline. So stopping to cheat might be a difficult task. So he will advise his brother, this place you are going, please come back. So it will be advisable for the girl to quit by herself, saying that this marriage we are about to enter for the sake of my past, which I feel like keeping to myself, I will not enter, will not go further. Let's end it here. I wish you well. May God give you a woman after your heart. May God order your step to the right person. For now, I want to bow out. You must save your face.
And what excuse would you give to this person who has only shown you love and affection? In this case, are you going to tell him that?
Open up. Confess your sins. I've dated this man out of ignorance. He used money to seduce me. Because of the love of money, I followed him.
Oh,
but now I have
love.
repented. I have repented. The man will understand. But if you make a mistake and marry that man, get to know that tomorrow, after 1 or 2 children, the man will bow out. And he will disgrace you. And the family will support him. Thereby, you will stand alone.
Traditionally, how does it look for a cousin to marry a cousin who has slept with his wife before?
It's not allowed. It's a
Traditionally,
taboo. It's not allowed.
your mother's sister's
It's not allowed.
son.
It's not allowed. It's no. No.
Which tribe are you talking about? Is it in Ghana? Yes. Because we know of certain tribes that would allow sisters to marry one man.
Miss Nancy, in my hometown, it's not allowed.
Okay.
It's not from the same family. No, they will never allow that to happen.
Once someone have dated that man, it's not allowed.
It's not allowed.
Please. It's not allowed. No family will allow that. Please, young sister out there, don't continue to date a married man. Married man is married. Anything they are giving to you, whatever gift, money, say no to it. Continue with your will. That strong will you have, continue with it. Pray for your own man. Many men are there. Plenty men. Single. Single boys looking for a good woman like you. Pray for your own. And God will give it to you.
Mama Kathy,
Yeah.
there are men who are strong and they are strong-willed. And you give him this information and says, I was with your cousin. And he says, and so what? I still want to be with you.
You see, life is not in only one block. It's not. There may be few, but they are men.
Yeah.
You see, because the first question to ask is the man clean? Has he dated somebody before?
If he has also dated another person's wife before, it would be very easy for him to forgive and move on, huh?
Yeah. But you see, life, because of what I do, Miss Nancy, 20-something years in counseling, there are a few things I've heard, I've seen. There may not be many, but there are some people that will say, but let me put this caveat. Most of them are deeply converted. And so marriage has a purpose. And some people, through their conviction, they get in touch with people. Okay, and they start relationship based on conviction. It's not religiosity. It's not even spirituality. Convictions are different from, you know, your ability to stand on traditions and cultures of men and belief systems. But the truth is, that will happen when there is honesty and transparency, because trust is a fundamental pillar. And when one's trust is broken, by whatever means, it causes a shaking in the marriage. So going back to this lady's case, I would say, no matter the scenarios you are painting, be transparent. And before you even approach him, make up in your mind that you are ready to be out. Except he extends the olive branch to you. And if he does, you embrace it. But you have to be very careful, because it's not just embracing. There are steps to follow after that is done. Accountability, boundaries, and transparency, all of these things has to be in place. Because now you are not going to earn trust. You are not going to be given trust. You must earn trust that I can leave you and come back and see my big cousin in the house and not think that you were doing something with him. So it becomes a bit very difficult, and they have to work through it probably with a professional who will help them know the boundaries to create and all of that. If it becomes too difficult, it's best to back down and just allow peace reign.
This is a good one. Yes.
Ms. Nancy, we should know that whatever we are doing right now, today, is a true reflection of tomorrow. And it will come back to haunt us. You see, she gave in, she agreed to date the man because of what the man was offering. She got enticed to that.
She did not say that.
No, Miss Nancy, she was saying the man was charming, the gift was coming, and all that. Money, everything was coming. And, you know, even though she knew he's a married man, business, one thing that these small ladies should know is that somebody's husband can never be theirs. Somebody's husband, no matter how you are with him.
Probably he's a traditional thinking man and he wants to practice polygamy.
Absolutely.
That's also an option.
Yes. So he can never be yours.
You.
So I think these are the things that they should take note. These small ladies that they are following people's husbands.
Oh, the young men are really, really excited about this one. Oh, come on. This is a good one, but you know, there are men in relationships and even women in relationships. You want to come to them with a confession. You want to open up and you say, darling, there is something very important I want to say to you. And he says that if it's not life and death, forget about it. I don't want to know. If you have a partner like that, how do you deal with this?
And it's very common amongst men. How do I put it now? Minimizing the import of certain conversations, because they say men don't talk, though not all men. So if you have such a situation and you are not yet married, my counsel will be, if he dismisses your attempt to speak up, write a note to him.
Okay.
There are multiple ways of communicating.
Disseminating
the information. Share the information.
Do not withhold because he dismissed it.
Because the same person that dismissed it, when he probably hears it from somewhere, will come and hold you responsible and will blame you that you should have done everything to open up to him. So don't go by a dismissive person's position today. Do due diligence, making sure that you secure tomorrow, and that your tomorrow you're securing will bring you peace by divulging whatever it is that you need to divulge.
Whilst we are on this topic, in this case, is a man and his cousin against this woman. Let's look at recent, very practical scenarios right here in Ghana, in Accra, where two friends He knows that Miss Nancy's partner is George. Would meet George and say, hey, how is Miss Nancy? Nancy would go to George and say, oh, talk to my friend Ajua. And they would talk and just on the phone and everything. And Miss Nancy is out of the relationship and Ajua jumps in.
That is the problem of today. People are shameless. I must be honest with you. Some ladies are shameless. They know that this man, you are going out with this particular lady. They will still nurse interest in having that particular man. Why? Because of money. Okay? This footballer, this man is a footballer. Okay? And he's dating your cousin. He's dating your sister. You also want to date that particular footballer.
Listen.
Why? Because of money. Now, let's bring it to our Christian life. People who are not born again, if you are not born again, this is what you do. If you lack the Spirit of God in you,
these are the things you accept.
if you don't have the Spirit of God in you, if you are not born again, this is the kind of life you live.
You convert people's
And you
blessings.
do it with impunity. You do it with muzzle, shamelessly.
Mama Kathy, they would say, that's not my sister. I'm not related to her by blood. And moreover, she just stepped out of the marriage or out of the relationship and the man is available. So why not?
Simple answer. They lack values.
That's it.
Anybody with a value system will never compromise standards. Never.
That's right.
So it is high time that people go back to establishing values that guides their life. Authenticity comes when you understand who you are and you know that there are certain levels you'll not condescend to. And when that is not there, it can happen. But a mother and a daughter, they have the same man.
Can you imagine?
I have seen several of these cases, and it all boils down to family values that was lacking. We've got to go back to establishing values. And for the young people, you see, most of the young people are extremely desperate because of social media pressure. You go to Instagram, you see all the flying. Maybe they borrowed to take picture. Then you are coming to kill yourself.
Look at this beautiful hair. Look at this beautiful hair. Sikaba gave it to me. I didn't buy this hair. So if you're feeling pressured because you saw Miss Nancy in this hair, it was given. It's a gift by Sikaba hair. I didn't buy it. Why are you pressuring yourself?
They don't know. And that's the problem. Young ladies, let me probably speak up to you guys. You bring a lot of shame to us, but you say your times have changed, so you people don't listen. You don't listen until it backfires. Then you come back and then with all regret. I always tell young ladies, no matter the age you are now, add 10 years to your age, add 15 years. Live your life forward and walk backward. Because if you live your life forward and walk backward, there are so many things you will not do. Because life will happen. And one day you sit back with so much regret. Why did I do this? And you see these same women that are dating married men, when they marry, they wouldn't want their husbands to do the same thing.
This is Confessions on TV3, and right now, I would need the families to get involved. Do we even tell our children the abominations, the taboos of our family line? These days, people just eat and they sleep and they grow. Nobody actually intentionally grooms them to say that in this family, we are faithful, we are honest, we do not steal, we do not covet other people's possessions, and all of that. We are not doing that. We just allow people to grow. Mama Kathy, is there a way we can start preaching family values to our offsprings?
Thank you so much, Miss Nancy. Mama Kathy's ministry is called Family Renaissance. And in my little corner, I try as much as possible. And that's why every time I come on this set, I speak directly to the government and leadership. Because at the end of the day, if you go and do a research on the country called Japan, okay, and then you do a research on Denmark, you'll discover that a few other countries, they have national values.
South Korea.
In South Korea, a child will walk up to traffic lights, and if he doesn't show green, he will never cross. And then when they are crossing, if he shows green, they tell thank you to the traffic light. There are values that are nationally ingrained. So many things are not done. You can sleep with your eyes open, family values, national values. So I believe that this conversation should get beyond this set. And I believe that people will take it up and we become a collective of people that say, let's begin to, don't just produce children and be running out there for money. At the end of the day, you leave them at the expense of whoever drops any junk. They all just imbibe it. So we can, and that's about the only solution. Because as a girl child, I see young ladies now, everything is naked. Everything is in the open and is fashion. You know, how they sit, they open leg like their boys. Because you are not trained. And God has given us 18 years curriculum, period, 18 years, to inculcate in children what they should look like. But you see, there is also a caveat. A marriage that is turbulent will leave emotional burden on one correct person.
Yes.
And the emotional burden will traumatize the person, such that when the children are young, pursuing after an irresponsible man or woman will make you lose focus. And by the time you come back, the children are grown. And we all have this community of, I wouldn't use the word.
This is a great conversation to commence. Mama Kathy, thank you. Please, don't go away. I'll be right back. You are welcome back to Confessions on TV3. We are almost wrapping up this conversation, but Pastor George, if you were the married man and I am your old girl and I've lost contact with you and all of that, you meet my cousin and these conversations are happening, would you want me to reach out to you and tell you that, do you know I met your cousin and he has shown interest in me? Do you think it's safe? Or you feel that he doesn't need to have a voice in this matter?
Thank you, Ms. Nancy. It is advisable for him to open up, confess, as I said earlier. Tell
to the ex
that this thing happened so time. But now, there's no way, there's no road there.
What I'm trying to say is that the woman in question, should she reach out to her ex-married boyfriend and tell him that I've met your brother and he's interested in bringing me home?
They have seen already. They were introduction, according to the story. The man introduced them in the family house. She visited the family house. They went. And he saw him one-on-one. So that she couldn't, if she was nervous. She was tensed up. So by the time she met the man in the family house, she was nervous. So she was uncontrollably nervous.
And the man, if you were the man, how would you also feel?
I'll feel the same. My ex, seeing your ex has a way of, making you feel uncomfortable.
You have to skip a bit.
Yes, that's it.
You'll get some butterflies in your stomach.
So the best thing to do is to confess. Oh, please, I had something to do with this lady, so years, so time, so please, there's no road. Don't go there because of broad line. Let me say this again. Families, introduce your children to one another. You see a brother, you give birth in a particular city. You start taking your children to your family house. They don't know them.
A lot of incestuous relationships
children will grow
are happening without knowledge.
Yes, they will grow up dating their own
cousins and brothers.
Somewhere.
Especially the men that have children out of wedlock and never bring them home.
That's it. So they might meet on campuses. And relationship will take place. So we have Christmas period, Easter period, when families come like
together.
This. Introduce, oh, this is my children, this is my son, this is my daughter, this is it. Introduce each other to the family so that we can avoid this kind of stories. It's not nice. It's very shameful. I don't like it. I feel like crying here.
Oh.
I feel like crying.
Oh, Pastor George is such a character. We're wrapping up. Was there something any of you had to say? Let me pick the lady first. Sorry about that. Hey, lady in orange. You look bright and lovely.
Thank you very much, Miss Nancy.
Please go ahead.
Yes. Miss Nancy, please, I want to know, I want to ask, can't the married man and the lady in question keep this thing, their relationship thing, a secret between them?
Did you love the married man or did you not? If you ever loved him and you keep this a secret, and he comes around the house, he may hug you a little too tight. He may pat your back or probably your bum or your breast, and it will develop into something.
Okay.
So for me, hiding this is unhealthy.
Okay. So then I think I will second Mommy.
Yes.
With the first point she gave, that she can probably take him somewhere and try to use someone else's situation, like telling the fiancé, yes, a scenario, telling the fiancé about it, to know how or what the man will say or do about it before she will open up and tell him about it.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Any other person from there?
Miss Nancy, what I wanted to say about this man, please allow me. Miss Nancy, you see, the Bible says something about a married man who is cheating. He's a fool. He lacks sense.
Is it
Proverbs
in the Bible
6:32.
that a married man who cheats?
Yes. He lacks sense and understanding the word marriage. He doesn't understand.
So if you want more wives, the Bible said that, David, if you wanted more wives, I would have given it to you. Why covet another man's wife?
That's right.
So if you're a married woman and you believe in God, God understands that you can have more wives. Please go ahead and have more wives than cheat and have side chicks and all of that. We're wrapping up this conversation, Mama Kathy and Pastor George, who goes on first with the last words.
As a matter of fact, please, every lady out there, pray for your own man. Pressure of financial care, love, messages.
How about the ratio, the man to woman ratio?
And now I'm saying, oh, the man will come, they will come. After that, men will always toast women. I will do this for you. I'll take you out. I'll pay your school fees. I'll buy you a car. I'll take care of you. Those
What
words,
if the woman saw the man and fell in love instantly?
You can't fall in love with a married man. It's wrong. Falling in love with a married man means you're not correct. It means you are lacking values, as my colleague here is saying. You lack values. So if you have value for yourself, what I call self-respect, you wouldn't go for a married man. Go for your own man. Pray for yours, and God will give it to you. That's all.
Thank you very much. Mama Kathy, are we going for hours that we are not in love with, or we are sticking with those we love, even though they are in other commitments?
No, please go for yours. Don't stick with another person's own. And let me speak to men. See, most men that do this, they don't show the same care to their wives at home. Even if your marriage is not delivering what you want, try and fix it and leave single ladies. Because at the end of the day, the pressure of becoming for single ladies is very high. Yes. And then you now go and add to the already existing pressure. It's not good. So bottom line here is, for this lady that sent this thing, open up. It's better to lose a relationship than blindly go in and tomorrow it backfires and you jump out. For the man, for the cousin, for the fiancé, sorry. If you're really listening to us, I know you are listening to us, there's no marriage that cannot be fixed. There's no situation that cannot be fixed. If you truly love her, work it out.
I'm loving on Mama Kathy tonight and also Pastor George. Dearly beloved, this is another episode of Confessions, and the bad that people do lives after them. This is a clear case of it. But it's up to the man. If he says, I can ignore everything and stick with you, go with him. But if not, my dear, understand that there are consequences for every action and inaction. This is Confessions. I am Miss Nancy. Same time next week, we come to you with another episode of Confessions, brought to you by MTN, everywhere you go.